Welcome to the fish tank.
Hey everybody, Fishman here. Welcome to another video. A video that almost didn't happen, and didn't happen for a unique reason. Well, at least one that I haven't had before anyway. When I did the calculations for how much material I was going to require to make this, which is it's not insubstantial, it is going to end up using up more than 3/4 of my remaining 1/8 inch acrylic. Which is kind of daunting because right now where I am, everything's shut, there's nothing open, and I won't be able to replace it. And I do want to keep making videos, and frankly, I mean, enough stuff has been put on the back burner so far. I mean, there's so many builds I want to do that I just don't have the materials for, and I didn't want this to become another one of those casualties. And as this video progresses, you'll see there are actual real business reasons for me to make this. So anyway, it bugged me enough that one of the times I was out this week, I had to put a couple more tanks in idle mode because of, well, all the stuff that's going on and how infrequent I can visit. So one of them was nearby where I get my acrylic. So I thought, well, I'll stop in and I'll see if they've pinned anything on the door saying you can order online, or they'll do some shipping or whatever, but unfortunately none of that. It's all just locked up and dark. And the way it's currently sitting, they're not planning on doing any kind of reopening here for businesses, and it's going to be a gradual when it happens for at least another 2 or 3 weeks. So it was just, one of the really annoying things. So anyway, enough of that. So I wanted to do this. And the reason why I want to put this together is you'll see that it actually has a lot of similarities to a few very recent builds. And there's a good reason for why I like this style. I've noticed in all the high humidity builds I've done so far, the plants actually grow a lot faster than they do in water. So I started thinking, how can I make it even better? How can I get it to the point where the leaves have as much moisture as they require and still have lots of gas exchange, especially carbon dioxide? And I thought that the best way of doing that would be to have, well, what I'm coining as a rainforest type build, where it is constantly exposed to lots of water. So this is what this is going to be. I mean, the bottom tray here is pretty much exactly the same as all the others, especially the one that I just did recently for the under gravel build. So that's not the difference. The difference is going to be the tray that's going to sit on top of this. It's going to have a very large amount of holes, and I'm going to have a trickle spray system for it. Now, I didn't want to drill all these holes separately because, well, it's a lot of holes. So I got the milling machine cleaned off. I put down a piece of 1/2 inch plywood, and then I clamped everything in place and started drilling. These are 1/4 inch apart. There's an awful lot of holes here. At this point, I had to take a break because my hand was getting tired. So the problem with 1/8 inch is it's flexible. I didn't want to have too many clamps in place here, so I just held it down and then moved it around, of course, and did all the holes. And I tell you, it was very tedious. By the time I was done this, I was quite happy to walk away from the milling machine. Now, the result is actually really quite good. I mean, I really do like the pattern. It should give me a really nice, even spray down. And the only way I can make sure that this is going to do what I want it to do is I can't have the lid, the top of this, at the top. It's going to need to be inset so that the water can pool on the top of this and then spray down out of it. And so that's what we're going to do here. This part here of the build is pretty much the same as all the other. It's a box, so it's not that big a change really, but this has to be up. It can't be right at the top. It has to be inset. So I cut a little piece of 1/2 inch plywood. It's going to be my brace, so that I can glue the sides on here. You have to make sure, I mean, when you're doing something like this, it has to be as flat as it can. I mean, it is 1/8 inch and it is going to warp, but I wanted to make sure it had as much chance as possible of being flat and true, so that this build the water will spray down as evenly as possible. That's what I'm trying to say here. So this is going to fit in here. And as always, when you're doing a glue up like this, I'm just going to initially tack it in place and then flip it over and put on the rest of the weld. So this is going to have a really good connection first off, because it has to be watertight, of course. And then with all those holes, and they're very fine holes, it should give me a nice spray pattern over whatever plants I want to put in this. And I'm not just going to be using Java Fern. I'm going to get some Anubias, and I'm going to get some other plants in here as well. And the reason why I'm doing all this, the reason the business connection to all this, is a lot of the tanks. I mean, the freshwater ones are doing the best. I mean, the saltwater ones are just a mess. But even the freshwater ones are going to require some massive cleanups. And also, I suspect, there might be some algae issues. Some of the plants are going to have to be removed. And I'm going to need to have as much as possible of material to go back in. So I want to set these up so that I have as much as material as possible. Now, I've been doing a lot of pruning of what I have, trying to spread stuff out. And this is just going to be hopefully another way that I can, maximize or shorten or whatever you want to call it, the reset time. Now, I just don't want to put like a bunch of gravel and throw plants in this. I'm actually going to probably get some driftwood going as well, put some moss on that, put some plants on that, and then get this as, like I said, efficient as possible. And then one of the other reasons why I want to do this is I do want to get into some hydroponics. Not so much for, the silly virus reasons, but, it is kind of nice to have access to, fresh whatever you want to grow kind of plants besides just aquarium plants. And this is just going to be my little foray into trying to, figure out that sort of detail as well. The other problem about this build is it is using my last water pump, my last spare water pump. If I come up with another idea before all this is over and I want to do something else, I'm going to have to take down one of the other builds, because I only picked up 3 spares, and this is being used now. So if I need to use the diatom filter or whatever, something's going to have to come apart for that to be hooked up. So there you go. This is pretty much done now. And it's just a simple matter of putting this on top. And because this video is already way too long, I'm going to do the bracket and the spray bar system and hook this up and put some stuff in it and everything for the next video, which obviously won't be Sunday, because that's going to be the continuation for the filter comparisons. So it'll probably be for Wednesday. So there you go. That's the nice thing about having a milling machine is right there. Though I tell you, I really would have loved to have had anything more modern, like a CNC machine or a laser cutter or something that can just program in and have it drill all the holes and I can come back when it's done, kind of thing. It was tedious to do all that, but it's done and it looks good. So all I'm gonna do now is show you all 4 of them together, and when I hook it up that way, you'll be able to see how I want it arranged. The trays are going to come out, so I can I want this as easy to work with as possible. So I can pull plants out, put plants in, change stuff up, give them a chance to grow for a while, and prune them, all that sort of stuff. I want it to be as simple as possible. So anyway, come back Wednesday for this, and if you like this style of video, please like and or subscribe. That'd be greatly appreciated. So here you are, they're all set up. This is how they're going to be in the rack system, and then they're going to be able to pull in and out. And then if you can imagine across the top, there's going to be a PVC pipe there which will supply water to each of them, and then that gap in the middle is just where the water pump is going to go down into the aquarium to get the water. So thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next video, and bye for now.